in, I would say, Nomad X community Facebook family. Welcome to the show. Today we have someone very, very special. His name is Sebastian Schlenker, if I say that right in English German pronunciation. This guy is a legend, and he is a very special guest of mine. He is a friend of mine, and we were supposed to do that on a live session a week ago. Long story short, I fucked up. It didn't happen. We had tech issues, but now we have him here today on a recording. Sebastian, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on here, and thank you very much for your time.
Well, thanks a lot, Ollie. Thanks for your time. And well, it didn't happen last week, but it will happen today. So all good.
Okay, we do it right now. So what we do at the very, very beginning, the most important thing is, or the biggest issue we have on this interview, it's we need to make sure it's not me talking, because I tend to talk all the time and then no one else can talk. So to make sure
I know that.
We're not running into this issue. Sebastian, long story short, instead of me explaining actually what you do, because you have an amazing program called the Superhero Method, but instead of me explaining exactly what you do, why don't you just introduce yourself, tell the audience about your program, about you, and about what you actually do for a living.
Cool. How much detail do you want? How much time do we have?
I'll stop you. Don't worry. I'll stop you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, well, I think the best description is something like between a marketing coach and a marketing trainer. That's what I do. It's online marketing that I teach my clients mainly, but it's just a vehicle to actually take them from where they are right now to where they want to be. And at the end of the day, it's building a business, running the business long term, really delivering purpose or reaching a purpose, making profit, and creating a kind of a freedom lifestyle for them. So in my case, I help coaches. I think it's a favorite audience at the moment in the online world. Well, I'm in that niche as well, but I'm helping coaches, and basically, if they start out, I help them to build their business. If they're already in the business for some time and let's say making a decent amount of money, to grow their business and to take them to 6 figures and to multiple 6 figures. That's basically what I do in a nutshell, to help them build and scale a business with online marketing as an instrument or vehicle.
Okay. Since how long are you doing that?
So, well, online marketing is probably since 4 years. Let me think, 4.5 years. So I think it was May 2015 that I started. But what I do with the Superhero Method is March 2016. So 3.5 years, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So you help coaches to become better coaches and to scale up. No offense. No, don't get me wrong. I think that's because if this wouldn't be valuable, you wouldn't be here, because I'm very critical when it comes to that topic. So guys, whoever listens to that, this man is a legend. He is not one of them who's just talking bullshit. He knows exactly what he does. That's why we have the honor to have you here today and to learn from you, and really appreciate all your insights. So you're doing this since a while, and what's obviously also the same interesting, also especially for the audience, before we go more into details, you do this completely local independent, right? So you travel the world. You are a citizen of the world, or how do we call that? Can you give us a few more insights about what your life looks like at the moment?
Would you want the unofficial or the official term? What I am? No, I give you. But I guess there's only an official term.
Okay. Cool.
So the official term, of course, is digital nomad. And actually, I found out that the agency where I run the business, the agency that helps me run business, they actually have this as a definition, as a kind of a citizenship profession. Or occupation definition. So it is a term. We all know it's a term. And so I'm doing that since, traveling since, I think, let me think, almost 4 years in a in a month or so. It's a month and a half, almost 4 years. And it's a lot of people say, hey, I'm location independent, I'm a digital nomad. But then, no offense, then it's someone hanging out for 1 month in a co-working space in Chiang Mai and then goes back home. So in my case, it's a little bit more serious. We have been, so when I say we, it's my girlfriend and me, Sophie, my partner and me. We've been traveling the world since 4 years, not backpacking, not 1 week here, 1 week there, but we kind of found out a rhythm that works really well for us, like get to know the place, learn about the culture, work from there, and do whatever we do in our daily lives. And so we have kind of 3 to 4 bigger areas per year that we travel to, and we've been doing this since 4 years, like almost nonstop. And so yeah, and now, because I'm in Sydney right now, the only country that's left for us together, not the only country, the only continent is Africa. So we've been on all continents.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it has been quite a journey, literally.
Wow. That's super impressive. All around the world, only Africa left. When do you go to Africa? Is that on the plan, or what's
That's the plan. Yeah. So we've been eyeing with Cape Town. I mean, a lot of people love Cape Town. We have some very good friends in Cape Town, and I think we wanted to go since like 2016 or 17. I'm not sure if it's next year, but probably 21.
Cool. So you're in Sydney at the moment, Australia. As I know from personal experience, you've just been to Bali.
Yeah.
Why Australia? Why Australia right now? What makes you going down there and from Bali, and what's the intention behind that?
Yeah, so we've been really lucky the last 4 years that we could align our travels with, like, let's say, weddings of friends, birthday parties, Christmas. So it wasn't just like random like trips, but we kind of aligned things. So obviously it makes sense in terms of costs and in terms of like focus, energy that you have. I mean, you cannot just keep traveling. And Australia, so I have a training here, like kind of improving my skills as a marketer, learning from the big guys. So I'm here for training the next few days, and we thought, hey, we love Bali. We spent some time there. We're gonna stay in Bali at the end of the year, and I'm gonna go to my training in Sydney, and then we're heading back to Bali and then back to Europe. So aligned everything.
Wow, that sounds like the life we're all looking for. That is incredibly amazing. I'm seriously impressed. You mentioned something very, very interesting, just very unexpected, which I didn't know about, but I think it's a pretty cool hook. You said the reason why you're in Australia is because you're gonna join a training. Tell us a little bit more about someone like you, like looking at your life, looking at your achievement. It seems like you got everything. Where do you get your inspirations from? Like, where do you learn from? What keeps you going to do all this?
Honestly, from how to say, hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
In my life, I think it's probably the biggest motivator for all of us. Some people admit it, some don't, whatever. I think so. In 2015, I had a really nasty experience, and partly my fault. I mean, it's always two sides to it, right? I was working as an architect back then because that's what I learned. That's what I studied. That's what I did for many years, and started my own business after many years because I thought I know it all. Started my own company, registered my company, got in business with a person, and it didn't work out. But also focused all my energy on one big client, on one big project. And so that didn't work out at the end. Something happened, they got bankrupt. And basically they took my company down as well. So they went bankrupt, I had to go bankrupt. And there I was in April 2015. And I think without my girlfriend, I wouldn't have managed. She helped me out of that misery, and my best friend. So two people that really helped me in that situation. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, I paid a lot of money for this office. I paid so much money for these people. work for me. I put all my money in computers and equipment and 3D printer and all kinds of stuff shit you need as an architect. Working for these people that I don't like, doing projects that I don't like, in a space that I don't like, and so on and so on. What could I do that's just me, and I have all the freedom in the world? So that was literally like when you hit rock bottom, that was my thought, like, what the F am I doing now? That's the most independent thing possibly. And of course, it doesn't happen the next day. It took me a few years and so on. But I thought, hey, I read this really cool book, The 4-Hour Work Week, probably 3-4 years. So like, I think in 2010 or 11, I read the book, maybe a little bit earlier. Tim Ferriss, and he goes like, yeah, go online, do this, do that. And I tried stuff with like, drop shipping and all these kind of things before, just as a hobby. And I was like, that's not me. I want to create something where people love what they do, and where they're completely independent in terms of location, time, independent from clients in a way, like they choose who they work with and stuff. And so I was like, okay, that's a computer, and that's probably online. So it must be something like this online marketing thing. And then I got into online marketing and shitty jobs. People wouldn't pay me in the beginning. I didn't have any experience. I did websites, SEO, all kinds of crap for a very long time. A good friend of mine trusted me, and he hired me for a project, and that helped me a little bit. And it just went on and on and on. And so I saw this opportunity where I would help other people with their business skills and online marketing, and they would help like individual clients. So I saw myself as a multiplier in a way, right? And I thought, hey, this is really cool. This is one step at a time, how I can change the world if I help one more person. And they all enjoy their work more, and it makes me more independent. I can be anywhere in the world. I just need a laptop and internet. And that's how it all started. And I was like, that's it. That's that thing. And I really worked my ass off to get there the last 4 years. So that's where it all started. Like, just being free free and having fun. So that's my biggest motivation. Just have fun, just enjoy life.
Yeah. I love it. That's great. That's really, really inspirational. And I think this is a very, very good reason to make things happen, which obviously a lot of us are seeking for, but even a lot of us are going like very close to that line, but they never ever cross it, because probably they never ever hit rock bottom as much as you did. Or just to say, I love the explanation, and I think this is what drives a lot of us forward to do things differently. And it seems like for you, it changed a lot. And even then to say, okay, I'm stepping out there and I'm going to help others to help others, which makes you to a supplier, which obviously is like probably one of the best explanations I've heard since a very, very long time, calling yourself a supplier instead of just being like a random coach or so. I absolutely love that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Very, very inspirational. In terms of what you did, and you and me, we both know there are a lot of people, they want to do the same. And there are a lot of people that are on the fence, and they are not really sure if they should do that or if they not should do that. There are many, many concerns. And even in the community we're talking right now too, we have a lot of people, they are kind of like just starting off. What would you say, what was the biggest breakthrough moment? What was the biggest push-through moment before making it happen? Not just talking about your rock bottom moment, also being like, okay, I need to get this done, I need to get this done. What would you advise people out there if they are really like, I don't know if I should do it or not, like not having like the big masterpiece of advice, just like very ground to earth, saying, okay, this is what you're going to do, and then you're going to do this next. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well, I mean, let's say an internal thing is like, I'm a big believer in like, if you don't have a passion for it, good luck. It's not going to work out. It's 1 out of 1,000 might make it, but all the 999 won't make it. So there's got to be something in you that you enjoy about this. And I was really into marketing, and I don't know, maybe some of the guys who are watching might know, but it's a bit of a different age group. I was into people like Eben Pagan, the whole pickup scene where it started, like this whole the book The Game, you know, and it all started there and went into online marketing and psychology and the early books and trainings on marketing. And so I had a passion for that, but I never knew how to apply it, like in architecture and where do I do that. But then it went into online marketing, into working with coaches and stuff. So that's what I love. But then there's this thing, you got to make some money to survive, right? So yeah, for me, it was really like finding one client or one person after another that you can help a little bit and just up your game every single time. There's advice out there where like, no, get into high pricing instantly and do this and do that. Well, if no one knows you and no one knows what you can do, they're not going to pay you 10 grand to do what they don't know that you can do, you know? So you got to start somewhere in a way. And everyone else who's just like, oh no, I started right away here. It's just, I think it's just bullshit. You know, success doesn't happen overnight. You know it. You're working very hard every day. You know how that works. And for some, it's like a year. For other, it's like 3 years. For someone, it's 5 years. And some people are a bit faster. It might be 6 months, 9 months to get traction. But yeah, literally just go for some cash flow in the beginning. So you're okay. You're not stressed out about money. And then think about building a system that can support you long term. So I'm all about systems. I teach my client marketing systems, and it's a little bit slower in terms of like, you know, making progress, but it's rock solid. You know? There's no freaking tsunami will take my systems down. So yeah. Anyways, that's the two sides, like motivation, passion, but also on the outside. You got to make some cash in the beginning.
Having a system in place, one step at a time. I think that's very valuable. Also, like what you said, like building a proper foundation. So this is not gonna hit against the wall out of nowhere because you have a proper foundation in place. I love it, man. That is really, really solid. That is obviously super German, but that's why we love you guys so much. Fits perfectly. Oh, I'm guilty as well. Don't worry. That's cool, man. There are two more things, and I know you are you're a very busy man, and I want to make sure we're not taking too much of your time. There are two more things I want to hit them. Okay, so first things, I'm very, very interested. You mentioned there is a girlfriend, and you guys are you're traveling together. Okay, is that so the couple thing works as well? How does that work? What is she doing? Are you working together, or is she completely independent, or how does that work? Because I believe you are together 24/7 if you are doing this together. And I don't want to talk about personal experience because this is not about me. So listening a little bit to your experience and how that works out.
Yeah, so she's actually sitting right here, so I have to be careful what I say. No, no, it's totally open about it. So we don't work together and we don't do the same thing. We do need our own space in terms of like what we do in private, but also what we do as like entrepreneurs. She started her own business as well. She's into kind of marketing communication. So she does copywriting, content editing, and content strategies. She used to work for bigger companies. Now she's going into smaller companies with a little bit of a better cause. And yes, we do travel together. Very lucky that we both like that kind of life, that we like to travel, explore. And also, you know, sometimes we have to take a whatever place on Airbnb or whatever platform, or in this case, Nomad X in the future, since you guys exist now. But you know, you have to arrange your life a little bit according to that. And it's not always perfect, but it's definitely worth it. And we don't spend 24/7. We try not to spend 24/7 together, just to, you know, have this kind of individual space, which I personally think and she thinks is super important. But also on the other hand, you know, you start to like to do things together, and you get kind of used to it, and you kind of live in your little travel relationship bubble sometimes. And when you see friends, or whenever we go somewhere, we try and see friends as much as we can. They pull you out of your bubble, and that's sometimes weird the first day, but then it's like, oh shit, there are also other people besides the two of us, and that's good. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
But it works well.
It works well. That's the most important thing, because I know
really
that a lot of people are looking for what you guys actually have. You know, like travel and love, and that in combination is the ultimate goal of a lot of people. So it's always very, very interesting to hear a few insights from how that really works with the couple.
Sure.
And, a lot of people asking me the same. So it's cool to have someone on the stream who is doing exactly the same in a relationship. And impressive, man, impressive. Cool. First things first, bro. Thank you so much. I have one last question for you.
Hey, ask me whatever you want. I'm here for you.
Cool. That's very valuable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. As I said, I really, really appreciate to have you on that stream, and that you share your insights. And talking about insights, I'd like to talk a little bit more about a forecast from your opinion, because the digital nomad movement is obviously happening. It becomes I like to call it the digital revolution. You can call it the digital evolution or whatever, but something is happening, and a lot of people are going online. A lot of people are starting to travel and taking their businesses through the internet and working from all around the world. What is your personal forecast? Where do we go in the next 5 to 10 years with this digital revolution? How do you see that?
Oh, that's a good question, man. So I don't know where I was. Maybe it was one of your contacts, but I heard something about like building these basically nomad cities, right? Mm-hmm. And so that got me thinking about it. And then you hear all kinds of stuff, what happens. But what I think a big thing will be is like micro communities. So like there won't be maybe just Facebook, maybe there will be other micro networks, micro nets, micro social networks, whatever. I think the same will happen in real life. So, little communities, maybe again, outside of big cities, affordable space, maybe some hubs or pods or whatever in cities, but also like, close to cities where it's a little bit more affordable, but then maybe it's a healthier lifestyle. That's what I see a lot of people doing, starting their own little communities, or what do you call it, communes, the German word Kommune or something like that, communes. So I think that will happen. And I think there will be, well, that's actually my wish, a stronger development again in like offline contact, but also like huge growth what happens online. So it will, I think one thing will come back again, and the other thing will just explode completely. So I think micro communities, micro networks will be a big thing. It will be more independence in terms of like you get housing providers like you guys, traveling providers, maybe in terms of technology, a lot of stuff on the cloud. Co-creation is a big word. I mean, we won't exist for much longer if we don't start co-creating. So, working together, bring the spirit together, bring ideas together, work with people with different skills in a community, in an online community or an offline community. So I think that's some of the things that will happen in the next, 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah.
And that's exactly what gives me goosebumps. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Cool. That's amazing. Without finishing up too early, but as I said, I want to make sure we're not taking too much of your time. And obviously, we're gonna because we're doing a recording right now, we're gonna put in all your links to your website, to your social profile. Is this the most valuable or most logical way where people can find you, or is there any other way to get in touch with you? What would you recommend if they want to know more about you, if they want to say, okay, I want to work with you, or just getting inspiration from you? Social profile, websites, is that what it is, or anything else you would like to mention in terms of a little bit promotion?
Yeah, so I'm heavy on LinkedIn, but I'm also on Facebook, obviously. Mm-hmm. So people can message me, no problem at all. And the website, I mean, Superhero Method, with like superhero-method.com. That's totally fine. I can find stuff there. And other than that, it's really like over the social profiles. That's the easiest way to contact me. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Sebastian,
very
thank
welcome.
you so much for sharing the insights, for taking your time talking to the community. And as we said before, we want to make sure we bring you on next year on a live stream and not just on a recording. Hopefully then without tech issues. But for now and for this time, we let you go. And super grateful to have you on here. One more time, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for providing insights and for being the inspiration for many people out there. So all I can say, bro, keep smashing it, keep doing what you're doing, because that is super inspirational. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Greetings to Bali.
Will do, man. Thank you very much. Greetings to Sydney, and I hope we're going to catch up soon. Have a good one.
Cool. See you in a few weeks.
Right. All right. Bye.
Cheers.